Chapter 8. Tom's First Royal Dinner. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Tom was brought to a large apartment where a table was laid for one. There were many lords and servants there to watch the ceremony of the royal dinner. Tom was terribly hungry. He did not pay attention to all those people. He did not know that he had 384 servants more. They were not all in that room, of course. And those who were present knew that the prince was ill. He was mad. But they also knew they must not pay attention to any childish tricks of the prince. The prince's childish tricks began at once. First of all, he began to eat with his fingers. He did not even see that here were forks and knives on the table. Nobody smiled. Everybody was sorry for him. Then another trick took place. Tom looked at his napkin with great interest and surprise. Then he said, "Please take it away. It is very clean. I am afraid I shall make it dirty with my fingers." The lord whose duty was to tie the napkin around the prince's neck took it away without any protest. When Tom had finished his dessert, he put quite a lot of nuts into his pockets. But everybody pretended that they did not see it. Some minutes later, Tom was at a loss. He was afraid to make a mistake. It was his nose that worried him. It began to itch. It itched stronger and stronger, and Tom did not know what to do. He was afraid to scratch it. He was sure that he must not do it himself. He looked at the lords. The lords looked at him. Tears came into his eyes, and nobody knew what the matter was. At last, Tom said, "I beg your pardon, my lords. My nose itches terribly. What instructions does the etiquette give us? Please hurry with your answer, because I can't stand it any longer." Alas, there was no royal nose scratcher in the English history, so nobody could help him. At last, Tom decided to break the etiquette and scratched his nose himself. The last mad trick took place after his dinner. A lord came up to Tom and gave him a golden cup with rose water in it to cleanse his mouth and fingers with. Tom looked at the cup a moment or two, then raised it to his mouth and drank some rose water. He gave it back to the waiting lord and said, "No, my lord, I am sorry to say, I don't like it. I don't like it at all." This new mad trick of the poor prince made all the hearts more sorry for him. When his dinner was over, Tom got up and left the table. He asked the lords to take him to his cabinet. There he was left alone at last. Tom remembered about the nuts in his pockets. He began cracking them, which made him almost happy for the first time since he became a prince. When he finished with the nuts, he came up to a big bookcase full of books. Among them, he found one about the etiquette of the English court. That was a pleasant surprise. He lay down upon a big sofa which stood opposite the bookcase, and began to study the etiquette of the English court. Let us leave him there for some time.